Well, okay, so let's start off with what I was trying to say, which is that this tournament is one of the first major tournaments that we are seeing with the new patch, with the completely new patch, with all the changes. Now, of course, there are just so many changes we couldn't even go over them all right now, but Krayzie is a Catwoman player. Catwoman, of course, did receive a few nerfs. Now, he still thinks that Catwoman is a great character. It's still his main. It's his tried and true, but he's liked Supergirl for a very long time. He thinks she's a lot like Martian Manhunter from the first game, who was his main at the very end of that. But now that she's got a lot of buffs, she's a lot safer in her footsies, her damage is higher, he really wanted to try her. So today, since he's so far ahead of the rest of the pack in the rankings, he decided, you know what? Or actually, I guess I should say on Sunday, he said, I'm going to try Supergirl this entire tournament. So he's made it all the way here in the top 8 winners using just Supergirl. Pretty impressive. Now,
she does significantly more damage too. I mean, so for me, because I had Nivik over for a week before Evo, and like just watching those long, arduous combos that would do like 230 damage, it's very different to now actually see her do over 300.
Yeah, and the thing was, she's always been a character that gets amazing mix-ups and Oki off of every single one of her combos. So even though she didn't have high damage, the potential was there to hit you know, a few different times in a row. Now that her damage is even higher, it just becomes that much scarier.
Yeah, she's definitely a huge threat at this point after the patch.
And this is also a matchup that I think Krayzie really just wanted to try Supergirl in. He's not a huge fan of Batman versus Catwoman. A lot of people don't think that's a particularly great matchup, especially post-patch. Batman definitely one of the least nerfed of all of the good characters, and Catwoman a little bit
that was
more.
such an interesting conversion as well.
I never quit.
I never quit. He never quits saying he never quits. He'll be doing it till the end of time. But yeah, of course, Sammy, he is, I think you could say he's officially a Batman main now. Now, earlier on in the season, so he was actually in our first top 8 of LA, which was week 2 for us, I believe.
And he played Supergirl.
He did. He played almost entirely Supergirl, but he also had a Batman in his pocket. We did see him pull out the Batman, and now I think he's pretty much switched over, which is ironic because now Supergirl's a lot better.
And there it is, closing out the very first round.
If it does connect, the scaling is considerably higher on that combo. You used to get just a boatload of damage. You still get a good amount of damage, but not quite as much. As far as everything else, he's relatively unchanged.
Oh, and again, that's like the third time that after that shoulder, Krayzie's tried to backdash and he's gotten caught by a jump 2.
Yeah, jump 2 from Batman is actually one of the best backdash catches in the entire game. Now, backdash is a great option against Batman. There's been a lot of talk recently, or there's been a lot of talk on Twitter especially, about just all the options that you can use to get out of Batman pressure. Now, one of them, the main options, is backdash. But backdash is always a very hard read. Backdashes in this game don't have very quick recovery. They're invincible. They
don't
get out
go very far.
Yeah, I mean, it all depends on the character, but
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you know, I mean, actually, Supergirl has a great backdash. Still, though, able to get the punish. Oh, and nice! What a great confirm. It's actually not a confirm that we usually see from Supergirl.
No, it's not. But that. I believe that her not her uppercut, but her overhead EX dash.
EX teleport.
Teleport, thank you so much. That is actually her most damaging combo opener.
It is, and that's exactly why Krayzie went directly into that instead of doing a grounded string. It does actually a lot of damage. Even before the patch, a lot of people were talking about how that was her strongest opener.
And there it is again.
Oh, sending him right through, and this is going to be a huge lead by Krayzie.
Yeah, this is almost a completely different game between these two.
Now, Krayzie could play the zoning game here. Now, one of the biggest issues when fighting Batman is that he always has his trait in neutral. So characters that have very quick, far-range checks, such as Supergirl's lasers, are really good at potentially challenging trait. Oh, and a nice anti-air.
Definitely.
Yep, and a clash coming out of Sammy Hammy. 3 bars is probably the only chance he's going to get the break. He's going to bet 1 to get 15% interactable.
Oh,
and again,
yeah.
backdash.
I think Krayzie really needs to stop backdashing right there. He should just sit, just block low, just wait for the jump in, just anti it. Supergirl has a great down too.
Yeah, she does. Also, I've seen players adapt with dashing straight at Batman in that situation, and sometimes they'll go under. Obviously, it's a super hard read, and it can get caught, but I've seen it happen, and it works sometimes.
That would be some Maniac play, but I would love to see that. Oh wow.
Unfortunately, that does not go very far.
Yeah, he threw it out.
Oh,
check
what a
third.
block.
Ooh. And this should be it. No clash available. Still wouldn't have let him clash even if there was a clash. So crazy.
It's on.
It is. But also, I think it's just the fact that he really likes her. He's not dropping Catwoman. He's not thinking that Catwoman's not viable. He still thinks she's absolutely great, one of the better characters in the game. But it just fits his style. I think maybe just as a player, his style has evolved, which is something that you see when you have these players playing competitively for 8, 9, 10 years like he has.
Right. That actually will punish. Full screen, the laser is not fast enough.
I think it's because he blocked it. I think if he had ducked it, he might have had a chance. But
I thought he did duck it.
Oh, really? I don't know. Definitely just a little bit too far then. Goes for the restand. The restand isn't actually plus. A lot of times people respect it after they get restood by her.
Neutral.
But correct. Now she does have a great down one, but if you have a 6-frame option, she doesn't have anything to challenge that.
Yeah, at that point of the restand, she actually technically has to respect you if you have a really good 6-frame.
Right. Ooh, and again, Krayzie with a huge lead this time. Much different than the first game that we saw.
I like the patience from Krayzie. So he's been actually landing a lot of down twos to try to interrupt the pressure coming out of Flappy. Oh, nice little conversion.
Yeah, that standing one definitely hit behind Batman's head. Wow, just the raw Mutaburn teleport. Yeah,
again, it's just seeing her do over 300 damage is crazy. Because she would only really get that in the corner depending on how much meter she would spend. Like, there was so many different variables, because otherwise her damage was generally around like the 2900 mark.
Yeah, and
the 290 mark.
The main reason for that, which is actually what got buffed. Ooh, wow, drop conversion. Is, oh, this should actually. Oh no, he's gonna go in clashable.
Oh, caught again, and using the trait that.
I think that's actually clashable.
No, it is clashable.
Interesting case, because he is from SoCal. He lives right by me, but he's never been to a SoCal tournament. Not a single SoCal tournament.
For Injustice 2?
For Injustice 2.
I think you're right.
It's very interesting. We're in an age where somebody can be from an area, but not necessarily representative of the area.
So where does he represent? That's the question.
Krypton? I guess?
Fair.
Oh, and again, that's such a good confirm. Yeah. It's so smart by Krayzie. I love the fact that he's doing that. It's not something that I've ever seen a Supergirl do. And that really gets so much damage. I mean,
I wonder if that is like the truest of optimals.
I believe so. But it's hard to tell. Of course, it is a new patch. There's a lot that people could be doing now, some higher damage.
Look at that, 400.
403, yeah, that is solid damage.
That's big girl damage.
Plus, it looks really cool.
No, it does.
And that's the most important thing, of course, always. Style points mean more than life points, as we say here.
Yeah, and the down twos, that is actually legitimately SoCal's like motto, style over optimal. But we're seeing a lot of down twos work out for Krayzie. In fact, that's actually been I think the biggest factor that's helped him in this matchup is he's caught Flappy with a lot of down twos in between pressure.
True, and a lot of those have been from disrespecting the trait bats. Wow, did not let Krayzie throw the toilet. And so now it's potentially the last life bar for Krayzie if he wants to win this.
Yeah.
And it is really important for both of these players to try and win this week. So there aren't winners right now. If they win this, they're moving on to Winners Finals. Now, Sammy is actually ranked 7 in the region, but he's only about 40 points below rank 3. So if he manages to get more points than everybody else this week, he could move literally from 7th to 3rd. And that'll put him up in that spot to be at the regional finals, which is going to be very important for him. Now, Krayzie, he is 100% locked in.
Yeah,
there's no way.
He's going to the regional finals.
Right. But if he wins this week, he'll be in the perfect spot to potentially take first seed for regional finals. And that'll be very big for him.
Yep. And a clash, 2 bars for Krayzie, 1 for Sammy.
Sammy needs to make this happen somehow. Ooh. Not a great
that could have been punished.
He just tried it again.
Yeah, it worked that time. Huge, getting Batman off of his trait. I Do you like the spacing from Krayzie? Oh my, and as soon as I say that.
Oh no, that's a terrible drop. He really needed that. That could have been the kill, but now potentially it could go either way.
I love that. Oh! Clash is no longer available for either player here. Oh!
And that should be enough. Okay, he doesn't drop it that time. He really needed that, and that means it's going to tie up and be 2-2.
Especially if he is going to be going to the regional finals, which he's already locked in for. So, I think this is a good time now to kind of test it out and see how it works in a true 3 out of 5 set.
I think that is absolutely true. You're totally right about that, and that is what Krayzie decided to do. So, he's going to try to close out the final game with Supergirl. And of course, Sammy's sticking with Batman, but this is where Supergirl hurts so much. Well, actually could have got more
and the
reps
overhead.
in the loop.
Yeah, you could have.
No full conversion. Actually had the meter, but didn't meter burn it for some reason. Well, what was that trade with?
That was a really weird stagger. Was that Breath?
It looked like Breath, but it didn't seem like he threw out Breath. Oh,
nice block.
Yeah, that was really risky. I wonder if we're going to see, the background bounce combo. Very nice by Sammy. Oh! That was a very cool combo. That was some Sammy Hammy Dammy.
I don't know what this is right now.
Oh, nothing. All right, but of course, Supergirl's damage can be huge now, and this is going to make it one more hit away from. Oh wow, actually finishes the full combo. You never see that string finished. That is actually the restand, but then completed.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
Pretty neat indeed.
Oh, top of the overhead, now in the corner. Huge opportunity for Flappy as this is all free damage.
Oh, into the guaranteed reset from the car.
Oh my goodness, what a reset.
I thought you'd be taller.
All right, so Krayzie can still make this happen, but I think he needs to get out of the corner. Oh, and not just down to...
Having none of it, Bat is out now. This is very dangerous for Krayzie. Push block.
Wow, jump one actually whiffed. What was that?
Wow.
That was I don't even know exactly which side that hit on, but
that
it
is
doesn't matter.
it. Flappy takes out your second seed.
A lot less time to be able to use Dexstar. I believe that's really the main change for him. And Black Adam, the main change really is just damage.
Yep, his damage has all but been normalized. Wow, two.
Okay, that was some, I said this term before, but really some maniac play. He did slide on hit into slide, and it hit.
I don't really know what to say.
Yeah, I don't either.
So the main change here with Black Adam is actually to his black magic.
Right.
So you no longer get, there's actually more recovery frames. Is that the right word? I mean,
well, there are two different things. First of all, it does actually recover slower on hit, and then B, it causes sort of an auto block, which is what they call it. So in NRS games, you can be plus quite a bit, but not be able to actually combo a normal after it in a lot of situations. So even though Black Magic might still be plus 23, or that's just a number I'm throwing out there, you
just
can't actually combo a 20-frame normal
and that's because
after.
he's still technically recovering, and then there's that auto block feature that you just spoke about. So that's the major change, meaning that if you do use Black Magic with Black Adam now, you absolutely have to burn meter in order to get any sort of follow-up with it.
Right, which is what we saw right there, although he did actually drop the combo.
This won't end well for you.
On top of that, his orb damage has been reduced. His forward 1-2 plus grab string damage has been reduced. I believe it was 13 damage, now it's 10 or something along those lines.
Small man.
Just everything he does damage-wise. Boot stomp, his dive kick damage has been reduced. But I think actually low lightning is still the same though.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. The big thing here for him is that his zoning tools are still all effectively the same amount of damage. His lightning hands, his low lightning, meter burn low lightning. Technically, Black Magic, even though you don't get the follow-up, it's still the same amount of damage. So his keep away game is still going to be very strong.
Sure. And I just saw he just did 4-4. Good.
I don't know, he's still pretty damn good, but we're seeing another character that's still pretty damn good from
Superman.
Rewind. And that's not a character that I've ever seen Rewind pick. Superman, he's going with the two of the big three, I guess you could call it.
Yeah, and that is the tournament shader.
Oh yeah, let's talk about those. So tournament shaders were just released. You can buy those to help support the esports scene, help support the tournament scene, in just every little way. Plus, of course, they're really cool.
Yeah,
Especially
they're really cool shaders.
the characters that have armor, I think are...
Look the best.
Yeah,
I agree.
I think they're the best of the best. Green Lantern with it, Blue Beetle, Cyborg looks good. Even, actually the weird one that I thought looked really cool was
Please, don't get up.
and of course there are two
This
types
just
of them.
constant jumping back from rewind is it's actually kind of hilarious.
Yeah, no, he's playing a very patient game, which is pretty smart.
Oh, interesting. Burns 2 bars to do even more damage, but only getting 4. I mean, I say only, but he actually could have got just as much potentially with just burning 1 bar.
Yeah, that is true. Now, everybody's still getting used to all the different damage changes and figuring out what's optimal. And I mean, there are different combo pads now with Black Adam. If you really want to get his optimal damage, you used to do every sort of string into a confirm with trait. But now you actually save the trait until later in the combo, and it does considerably more damage. So there are still a lot of things that we all have to learn. And Rewind has quite a lead, but Black Adam's damage is still Black Adam damage. He still gets about 400 from the meter burn dive kick. He still gets huge damage from zoning, like we said earlier.
I love the forward 1 staggers from DJT. Oh.
That was definitely an accident. He actually could have finished it off with that, but wasn't expecting the accidental rise and grab, and he wasn't expecting it to hit for sure.
Oh!
And that was actually a great adaptation based on one of the normalization. That,
I met him at Evo, and he was just always so strong from the start. He was like one of the best players in our scene, like immediately.
He was. I remember. I mean, I will never forget. Evo 2011. Sitting there, there's this person named DJT MIT, and everybody's confused because they've heard of this DJT MIT, but it's 2 people, DJT and MIT. They're brothers. Now, DJT made it to top 8 in that Evo, where he played Liu Kang and Sub-Zero. And I very specifically remember, we can't ever forget, Tom Brady sitting there in the crowd yelling, "Who's this fraudulent Sub-Zero?" And then Pig of the Hut gets up and he says, "Well, you're not up there in top 8." Oh, they had some, there was some really fun arguments.
Some words were exchanged, I believe.
Yeah.
And it was funny because I was sitting very close to Pig. Those were good times, man.
They were, but DJT, ever since then, he's been so successful. I think he's definitely one of the players with the most Evo medals, Evo NRS medals.
Yes,
I
him
don't
and
want
his
to say
brother
the
have
most,
accrued
but
quite a few.
yeah, they've missed very few years. Of course, second place in the first Evo for the first Injustice.
But that's kind of cheating, right? Because when one brother doesn't make it, the other one does. So they always have a presence in top 8. I think the only year they haven't was actually this year.
This year, and I think there was one of the past 2 years where they didn't, but almost every single year aside from that, which is extremely impressive, especially DJT, always placing really well, including winning Evo for Mortal Kombat 9 in, I believe, 2013.
That's true. We can't forget that MIT was actually a Fatal 8 alumni himself.
Oh, that is true. I forgot about Fatal 8.
Getting to the grand finals with Fox.
Nothing short of impressive, but right now, I think Rewind's going to have to show how impressive he is if he wants to make this comeback. Making comebacks against Black Adam, still one of the toughest things in the game.
Oh, he does end up getting a hit.
But now he's going to have to stop him from pull. Oh, whoa! That was an interesting, was that, did he meter him 4-3 cancel?
Yeah,
it looked like back 2.
Yeah, 4-2 meter burn.
Oh, this is post-patch. Now, the main thing is that while Dexstar is out, push blocks remove more meter from Dexstar. Using the projectiles removes more meter, and using the shield removes a ton more meter. Now, he can still do quite a few Dexstar Blood Ball pressure strings. He can do about 6 or 7 Blood Balls within one Dexstar summon, which is still quite a bit, but you can only do about 3 shields, and that is a huge difference because shield ended up being kind of the main combo and pressure tool.
Yeah, no, you're right.
On top of that, forward 2-2-3 no longer jails into the breath, so you don't have quite a safe option off of the overhead ender is used to. And DJT really just controlling the whole thing. Wow, what a read in neutral, going for the raw blood NATO. That is so punishable, but He's going to take advantage of that. Ends in the punch float to try to get a little bit further towards the wall.
Oh,
and he carries important. Good push block. And as you see right here, Dexstar is gone.
Yeah, that's it.
DJT really taking advantage of how the patch affected the push block.
Nice block. Oh, very small punish though, and what a... that was very interesting.
He landed in that in a really weird angle.
You'd be a perfect Red Lantern. A compliment indeed.
Indeed. I love that. That was kind of a nice conversation. He's like, oh, well, thank you. What a
He's
compliment.
like, well, I also think you look nice today. You know?
All right, this shouldn't quite be enough to kill. Ooh, he's actually going to...
And he gets right over it. Dexstar, though, unfortunately, is gone.
Yeah, Dexstar completely removing itself. You know, I feel like I never saw that before the patch, so I could be crazy, but I feel like it's new, but they didn't say anything about it. So maybe it's just some little bit of lack of knowledge by me, but the fact that he decides to pet Dexstar during that kind of win transition means that there's a lot of time for it to recharge.
Yep, and mixes on mixes now. We are seeing a little more of a risk versus reward playstyle coming out of Rewind as he is going for a few more blood puddles.
Oh, that could have been a big combo, but he gets the reverse unblockable. Oh, and now life lead is for Rewind. He has to land something, but it's going to be tough. There should be trading.
Trying to wake up, and it didn't work. DJT with the risk of his own.
Combo per game, which is a big deal.
Right, because instead of 2 combos, he just needs 3 now.
Ooh, interesting way to summon Dexstar, but it's going to give him the free pressure. Oh, what a
cage. Interesting.
I wonder if that's an actual intentional punish.
Maybe the ball goes under the or over the cage?
That's exactly what happened right there. I think maybe he just didn't have the meter to follow it up, but it was a very good punish. Got rid of Dexstar. But not the first time that we've seen the raw blood puddle in neutral work. And the reason why that works is that if you're walking around trying to walk back, get out of the range or get into the range of the kind of footsie range that you want as Black Adam, you're going to be moving. And if you're moving, you're not crouching, you're not crouch blocking. And of course, Blood NATO is a low.
Wow, he has caught like almost every single one of those low landings with a blood puddle.
Oh, wow, that could have been a huge punish, but you could see he missed the dive kick. Yeah. He tried.
Just kind of jumping 3. And now look at this massive life deficit coming in for DJT as it is now 2-2.
Oh, and again, Dexstar gone so quickly. One pressure string into a block escape, and that was really all it took to get him gone.
Wow, beautiful down 2 punish on the 4-1-2 whiff, and now DJT is starting to look a little hopeless now, stuck in the corner.
Oh, this is going to be big damage. Still Black Adam damage. Oh, unless he drops it, then it's not going to be anything significant. Plus, he gets punished for it, taking a lot of chip in the corner. Dexstar is available for any chance that Rewind gets. Oh, what? Down 2 into meter burn, back 3 cancel? I don't Sports Arena, and you press the secret button, a combination of buttons, and you go downstairs. There's just a whole bunch of Batman suits, and you have Cheeko, and you have Nubcakes, and you have Acid.
They're all different sizes?
Yeah, they have like their names on them on the cases. They have to put them on every time before they play Wednesday Night Fights. All right, so these players looking like they're starting off pretty defensive. Batman, of course, is a great zoner, and when you do have
a beautiful dance.
Do you think he gets dizzy? I've always wondered that. I mean, he spins so many times in a row throwing the projectiles. I feel like you gotta get dizzy. But he's Batman, you know? Maybe he's prepared for that.
Maybe he has like what are the, like balancers? There's like a specific name for them. Like equilibrium balancers, so that he can spin all he wants without getting dizzy. I don't know.
Maybe that would be really.
There's an actual word for that, and I can't think.
I mean, it makes sense to me. It makes sense to me. And right now, okay, so. I'm trying to figure out.
Sorry,
okay,
go on.
No, okay, so Cheeko is actually the one in the corner. Acid is the one who is definitely got the life lead, and the life lead is huge right now because Cheeko just cannot catch up. He's going to have to make really effective usage of the trait if he wants to make this happen. And oh, I like that setup. There are a lot of different sneaky options, and that's another one.
Oh, he tried for the conversion, unfortunately didn't get it.
that is one of the best options for getting in with Batman in this game. Slide, as long as you have bats, you can make it relatively safe, and if it does land, you get a combo. Now, it's really fast, it's got a ton of range, it's really good for stopping your opponent from moving backwards, or to actually punish their projectiles by moving underneath them.
This is ridiculous. Quing, 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 quing.
I'm telling you, I don't care what kind of equilibrium balances Batman has. He must be getting dizzy by now.
Ooh.
They just trade traits. Oh, and wow, didn't let go of the trade in time, so could have made it safe. Decided not to. In fact, not only would that have made it safe, he might have been able to get a full combo because he would have punished him trying to punish with the trade bat.
Yeah, we saw actually Cheeko going for a counter there, but he got caught by a jump 2 instead.
All right, now Cheeko has almost evened it up, but he really needs to take this first life bar from Acid. Of course, we talk about it all the time, but the first life bar, I mean, even if you only have one little hit left, it's a big deal. And now he takes it with zoning. So Cheeko now, the one on the right side, zoning. They're both very similar colors. I wish we would, we should make it a rule that you have to have a different colored shader.
Well, if you're gonna face off against someone with a mirror, yeah. Well, technically it's different colored. He has yellow on his, Acid does.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. It's definitely a different shader, but there's some great Batman shaders. I mean, the white one, the I love the classic one that's kind of the gray and blue.
Yeah,
Ooh,
yeah,
wow.
that one's really cool too. But wow, Acid taking. Does that say hot chocolate? Is that what it says?
I don't think that's what that says, but hot chocolate sounds pretty good right now.
Maybe it's just the
There are plenty of
large
warm
kid
fires
inside
to,
of me, or outside of me that wants hot chocolate. You know what? Now I want hot chocolate.
All right. Well,
Production, can we make that happen?
yeah,
Hot chocolate.
let's make it happen. But again, so I believe we have Acid's on the left side. So Acid is again the open-faced Batman. Looks like he's using kind of the classic costume. And again, he's taking the lead, taking the momentum.
You know, when you said open face, all I think of is Harvey Scary Face. Have you seen? You know what I'm talking about?
No idea what you're
Batman?
talking about.
Oh, dude, you gotta check it out. It's hilarious.
All right, you'll have to show me later. But Cheeko starting to launch some offense, but Acid using his defensive tools so well.
That's all I can think about.
How many batarangs does he hold?
I don't know.
I wonder. They should be a like an ammo counter, and if he's got to like call in like the I don't know, the bat plane to like drop more off for him. You know, he's like, yo, I'm out. I need more.
I'm out.
You okay, man?
I don't know, man. I think
you are.
Batman mirrors are getting to me. Good block and a push block.
Yeah, I like the fact that they're actually using push block a lot. It's very, very
It's a
important.
really good tool against Batman as well.
Right,
It's
and
actually one of the only tools sometimes you have.
yeah, and as a Batman player, you've got to know that. But again, Acid with the the defensive kind of lead here, you could say. Are just trading the trade bats. The trade bats themselves don't do too much damage.
No, the trade bats, what makes them so ridiculously good is the fact that they just allow him to take extra turns, essentially.
Right. Ooh, or to make stuff like that essentially safe, just like the slide. I'm surprised we actually haven't seen Cheeko do more slides just to try to get in. I mean, I know it is pretty difficult to get within that correct range, especially because Batman, as a zoner, has the strength of being able to move backwards while he zones. And that's pretty unique in this game. I don't think there's any other character that actually does that. Or actually, I guess Deadshot with his the multiple hitting wrist cannon, but you very rarely see that used.
Yeah.
Just because it has a lot more recovery than, say, Batman bats.
Oh, wow. And Acid again is showing that he can hold the lead in this Batman mirror.
Yeah, but doing it offensively this time. So many forward threes. Forward three is a great tool with Batman. It's plus on
Getting
block.
caught by all those overheads with the second hit of back two.
Oh, and this is a big opening. Is that enough to kill? It is. Cheeko, he really needed that, and now he's going to be in a really good position to apply some corner pressure.
Yeah, but I mean, Acid opened him up with so many back two threes, and something I think why that happened is because he did do a back two stagger and a back one earlier, so he was afraid of getting caught by the low.
Up close game that made him very terrifying inside is a little bit worse. Now, that move in particular, the low that we did see him start off with,
Back one.
just a little teensy bit slower and not as good on block. So we used to see a lot of really good back one staggers. Back one staggers aren't quite as good anymore. Still not terrible overall. And on top of that, some of his normals have been either slowed down or sped up, kind of just based on how they've been working for him. But his zoning still extremely strong.
And even with all that zoning, though, Acid does find himself ahead quite healthily in this matchup so far.
Oh, wow. And just, oh, no, actually, I was about to say that was the multiple hit wrist cannon, but it was not. Oh, and here we go. This is the...
It's over.
So that's very impressive by Acid. You know, showing not only that he's capable of zoning, but he's capable of getting through zoning when the need arises.
That was threading the needle there, and he did it very well.
Oh, and again, just managing to barely get in, but every little bit that you get in is really strong as Batman, especially against a... ooh, wow. Managed to get out. Especially against the Deadshot that was recently nerfed. Normalized.
No, we don't like the word nerfed. We like the word normalized.
No, I was
kind of like caramelized.
Ooh, wow, okay. Yeah, I think you're hungry today, man. You're talking about caramelized stuff, and you're talking about hot chocolate, and yeah, dude.
I don't know if you've seen me, but I tend to enjoy the foods.
I have. Ooh, nice. Good opening. Didn't quite get the full combo, but still got a significant amount of damage. And of course, the lead is bigger than anything in this game.
Yeah. And again, Acid is sitting on his first life bar still, which means that all the damage that he's going to get, no matter how much Cheeko dishes out, he's only going to lose about 121 life. So this is still very, very important for Acid to just get in as much damage as possible before that life bar is taken away, if it is even taken away at all.
Yeah, he just needs some chip. I'm surprised we haven't seen more usage of the meter burn low rifle. I think that would have been a really good tool, but I'm just not seeing it. We're seeing him use meter for other options. We're seeing it for push block. We're seeing a lot of meter burn straight shot, which is weird. But I don't know. Got to use all of his tools. That was a tool that was not normalized at all. Ooh, and one more opening could be it.
Oh, and there it is. No clashes available for Cheeko.
Oh, he tried, but it didn't work out. Oh, and one more hit is going to be it. And that means that Acid getting over the counter. Actually, in Kazam, if you know that movie.
Oh, very cool, very cool.
The main character. He's been in The Strain, and that's he said that that's a lot where he started playing Injustice. Now, he's always been a big comic book fan, but his wife actually really got him into DC when Injustice 1 came out.
Cool, that's actually really neat.
That's ever since then, he's been coming to SoCal tournaments. He is one of the, easily in my opinion, one of the most improved players over the amount of time that he's been playing. I mean, we see him now. He was able to defeat DJT one of our previous weeks. DJT, of course, being one of the best players in the entire world. He goes toe-to-toe with every single other player in SoCal using a character like Darkseid, which you very rarely see.
Oh, he needs to finish that life bar so bad, though. Oh, wow. That's a way to finish it.
It is. It was a very, very good read, and I couldn't tell if he meter burned it or not, but if he didn't, okay. I was going to say if he didn't, that was a really good read, because if he didn't have that meter, that was risky, but wow, we're going to see some pretty big damage here, and that is one of the only ways that you see Cyborg doing that kind of damage are meter burn bounce cancels.
Yep, and also in the corner, because mid-screen, his damage is fine. It's nothing incredibly impressive, though, but in the corner, Cyborg can do quite a bit of damage.
That is true. Definitely, actually his damage in the corner was nerfed a little bit from Injustice 1. He used to have his up blast loops, but still pretty scary, and especially the fact, like I was about to say, that he can set up trade, and trade, of course, leads to more pressure, to more mix-ups. But right now, it's looking pretty even. However, that Darkseid damage is potentially huge.
I'm not gonna miss you. You will suffer, fool.
Fool. Shoutouts to M2 Dave, who actually plays Darkseid, so I'm very glad he's playing a character that says fool.
I get it. That's a very old schooler reference right there. M2 Dave.
Zoning master. Oh, and a big combo. Hard knockdown in the corner. Baits the wake up. Not quite able to finish out the kill, but Chip might be able to do it.
Oh, wait a second. What is this invasion of abilities in the break?
Darkseid laughs as you perish.
You can't even move the chains.
This is about to be one hit of Chip for either player in a matchup where zoning is huge. Is there one bar for, yeah, this should be guaranteed Chip. There's actually nothing that Pretty Flocko could have done right there, I don't think. I can't think of a single way for Darkseid, but if he'd done a normal one and just caught him on Chip, one way or another, it was a very tough situation. That was literally as close as it gets. I literally don't think he can get any closer.
Wow,
Whoa.
what a block.
That was very nice. Oh, and wow, the anti-airs coming out of C's are very impressive. But unfortunately, he's not
really like
that much
Darkseid.
damage. Yeah, he is a huge Darkseid fan. When the game first came out, he was just all about Darkseid. Like before the game came out, he was more excited than I've ever seen anybody to play like any character. He went to just every single store to try to make sure that he could get the game with the Darkseid release as soon as possible. And ever since then, he's been playing Darkseid. He's a bit of a zoning player in general. He played some Deadshot, but he tends to just play the characters that he really likes. That's why we've seen him recently doing really well with Brainiac. We might even see that come out a little bit later today. Who knows?
Goes to the push block, burning meter. He is behind though. His Pretty Flocko's done a very good job. I was going to say very good job of doing as much damage before that life bar right now, but there it is. But even still, a over 400 life lead.
And the mother box saving Flocko. Nice throw. Is he going to do a meaty? Oh, no. Unfortunately, that doesn't work against Darkseid. Darkseid has one of the best wake-ups.
Yeah.
It's invincible, it's plus on block, and it hits twice quick, so you can't armor it. Very tough to dodge.
Promise Superman I'd stop you.
You cannot deny Darkseid.
Is that true?
No, you cannot. It is impossible. But you know what? Maybe I'm wrong. Flocko looking pretty good at denying him right now. Oh, wow. Just needs one more hit. Good interrupt.
Oh, and he did it just a second too early. And Flocko is going to be able to tie it back up 1-1.
About how dumb I am. It's pretty great. No, but like I was
not wrong.
I am not. Like I was saying, there are a lot of layers to Darkseid's mix-up, and each one is unsafe, but leads to a ton of damage. So Darkseid is not a character for people who like to play it safe, like to, you know, just play a spacing game, patience. He is a character for people who want to make the read, who want to overwhelm their opponents, and just make sure that, they just really crush their opponents mentally. I don't think anybody's ever lost to a Darkseid and felt, oh yeah, that was good.
He really outplayed me in the neutral. You know, like it's not something that you're ever gonna hear yourself say after you lose to Darkseid.
But he's that's what he's all about. He's about overwhelming you because he's, again, one of those characters that we see in games where there are answers to every single thing that he does. But if you just miss one thing
or you're
getting overwhelmed,
it becomes a snowball effect that you just can't really stop.
No, and it is terrifying with that amount of damage, all those mix-ups that he has. Cyborg, of course, being the other side of the spectrum. He doesn't have a lot of great mix-ups. He doesn't have a ton of comeback potential, but if he plays solid, outspaces you, wins the zoning game, he will just get this slow, guaranteed win on you.
That's true. Cyborg is a character that has good tools all around, pretty good damage. The only thing he really lacks is a good wake-up, I guess you could say. I mean, his only wake-up is his Cyber Tackle, which is a high command grab. But aside from that, I mean, the character just can deal with a lot of situations really well, and we've even started to see some people pick up Cyborg to deal with Atrocitus.
That's true. And right now, ooh, great air-to-air. Decides not to follow it up so there's no potential to clash. Very smart.
And a jump one to finish it out as it is now Pretty Flocko up.
Was technically, I mean, they say buffed a little bit. It was very small, but just a very, very tiny bit, which is nice. And now the big change is on his trait. So you can actually hold trait and let it go whenever. So there could still be a trade out. Well, let me explain that. That was actually a terrible explanation.
Yeah, I was like,
forgive me. So you can hold trait, and it used to go away if you were blocked or if you got hit.
Right.
Now, if you're holding trait and you get hit or you block something, the trait's still being charged. The only time the trait goes away is if it's already on the screen and then you are hit or blocked.
Look at that little tentacle arm.
Yeah. Ooh, nice. Very low juggle with the air meter ring fireball. And right now, Caesar has a lead, but he still has to find his way back in every time. Nice, nice pickup too. Almost got the full combo. And that should be enough, but Pretty Flocko managing to get out of the corner before he loses his first life bar is a huge deal. He's also gonna have a gator to throw if he needs it. No, not throwing the gator.
No, but Flocko, oh man, he's so close, and there it is. He manages to burn that first life bar. That was absolutely huge, as now we move into potentially the last round between these two players.
Oh, nice air to air. I think that might have actually air to aired the dive kick. Not something you usually see, and wow, look at all this setup.
Yeah, this is actually huge. This is Pretty Flocko showing you literally every tool almost. And no, this is actually every tool that we've seen out of Cyborg.
The only thing left that we could see would be like a really good read on a command grab. Oh, nice bait, but no
Speaking
conversion.
Of good reads, yeah.
Oh, plus on block, we're seeing a lot of this nice pressure now coming out from Flocko, and now it's gonna be very tough to even see a break in the rest of this game. It's pretty much impossible.
Oh, and he went for the dive kick, but that is it. Flocko, 3-1.
But now we saw Acid playing so solid earlier in the day. I mean, he's just looking really good to make it all the way back up through losers. Of course, playing a great character. The really interesting thing about today is, of course, we've been talking about how this is the first tournament, one of the first tournaments using the new patch, but the rest of this tournament was actually before the patch. So these players did make it up to top 8 pre-patch, and now they're having to deal with all of these adjustments, and that alone is a skill within itself. Who can adapt the fastest?
Yeah, and right there was an adaptation in itself of DJT's combo doing 1-1-2 into trait cancel because Black Magic no longer works.
Exactly. And a good choice to throw back into the corner. One more trait activation could do it, as long as DJT can survive for that long. Only a few more seconds. Just has to be patient, and this should be
nice backdash. That was clean.
That was from a backdash that isn't really good, to be honest.
No, his
one of the
backdash
worst
is
backdashes
not
in the
good
game
at
now.
all.
DJT playing the patient game. Of course, we were talking about how the zoning from Black Adam was not nerfed at all.
Down 2, good confirm. And to be honest, 300 damage off of a down 2 is actually quite good. Because down 2 scales very heavily the damage that you do afterwards.
Yeah, Black Adam has always been one of the characters with the highest amounts of damage off of a down 2.
Yeah. Mainly in part because of his trait. But again, contesting the bats with down 2 is actually really great to see.
Still trying to kill me? For contact, I will prevail.
Well, it's looking like he's prevailing pretty hard.
Yeah, he's prevailing pretty hard right now.
Ooh, nice instant dive kick, but again, the down 2 trade with the trait. Very smart. That requires such a very specific knowledge of the timing. And it only works because Black Adam has such a fast down 2. Actually, both of these characters with some of the fastest down 2s in the game.
And I gotta say, the amount of contentions that DJT has won simply by doing forward 2 at the right time to check a bat or down 2 has been almost 80-90% out of Acid here, starting off pretty well with a sweep.
Ooh, nice backdash, but actually if you backdash the last hit of back 1-1-2 like that, it's very plus for Batman, so that could have been Batman's turn again.
Especially with Adam's backdash.
That's true. Oh, and a good jump out. That's going to give DJT so much space.
And I love the way that DJT just floats back.
He does. He just holds back. He could literally be like, I don't know, taking a drink of water with the other hand if he wanted to.
How do you know he doesn't?
I don't know he doesn't. That wouldn't surprise me. DJT is quite the character.
Man, do you remember how normal he used to be?
Yeah.
Before, I'm gonna say before the Yomi days.
It's absolutely true, and in fact, even a little bit before that.
No, you know what it is? I think that he was in the scene for so long, and Denzel actually used to be really shy. So if you didn't know him before MKX, like he would talk to you and stuff, but he generally kept to himself, as did MIT. Although MIT, I would say, was a little more outgoing. But once MKX started, and then he really started to travel more and more, and like he got to know everyone in the scene, and then he eventually went to Yomi, and he had all those guys to constantly talk to. Man, he developed like a completely different persona. And it's honestly genuinely great to see because Denzel is freaking hilarious.
Yeah, 2012 DJT and 2016 DJT are like completely different people.
Yeah.
Maybe he was actually replaced.
The Yoga guys just actually killed the original and made a robot secondary.
Yeah,
it's possible.
The DJT clone. So one day he's going to turn, his eyes are going to start glowing red.
Yeah, because I remember, man, he just used to be this quiet, really kind of to himself type of dude. Still talented. I mean, his gameplay has always been ridiculous and good, but he's ridiculous now. Like he's at this level where he's untouchable as far as personalities go.
Yeah. During, well, actually, this is pretty much guaranteed for Acid. It's going to be nearly impossible to avoid the chip, especially with this amount of meter, and he is going to tie it up 1-1. But I just wanted to say, just to go along with X or Mortal Kombat X, or I've never seen it, you should watch those videos.
That video alone,
give you a perfect example of why we're talking so much about DJT's character. But right now, it's looking pretty close. I really still think Black Adam's an interesting choice of a character for him in this game.
Well, so at EVO, he told me that he's like, you essentially have to pick the one true character if you want to win. And that was obviously before the nerfs. But now that Adam is nerfed, I mean, he's still a very good character, but he's just not as obviously ridiculous as he used to be, right? So for him to stick with Adam, I agree, is interesting because he also has Green Lantern, who is another good character. In fact, we've seen Gross do fantastic with him.
Yeah, Gross, who actually has also been playing Black Adam.
No, I know,
yeah.
but I'm saying he started with Lantern as well, and he has found success with the character.
Definitely. Those two actually were both some of the most famous Green Lantern players from Injustice 1.
Yeah.
But of course, Green Lantern's quite a different character, so understandable that they're trying other people alongside him. And honestly, DJT has always been a relatively patient player who likes high damage punishes, likes good neutral.
The seventh god to help, 6 will be sufficient.
Yeah, you can count them in the background right now. Count all 6. Actually, one of them I think falls off of the stage once it's a little bit more battle damage. Oh no, actually these aren't the gods. Wow, I'm actually dumb. These are the sins. This is the Rock of Eternity.
I wasn't gonna say anything, but I'm really glad you did.
Yeah. I'm calling myself. That's two dumb comments today. We'll keep them counted. Ooh, that instant dive kick and a nice flip out, but it's not gonna be able to get a punish from it. Still gets an opening.
Ooh, gets opened up with a jump too, though. Oh, it's still 228 damage from low lightning. That is still very much a real thing.
Yeah, and half of that for a normal lightning, a little bit more than half of that. Did he just laugh as he activated trait? I feel like I've never heard that happen before.
Yeah, I don't think I've heard that before.
That is amazing. Oh, and that's enough. Especially using that meter, DJT.
The way that a lot of Blue Beetle players feel is that it takes too much effort to win with that character.
Right, but now that damage across the board has been nerfed a little bit and Beetles has stayed the same.
Bleedle does some good damage.
Oh, somebody was saying that on Twitter the other day. Bleedle. Should use that like Bladum?
Kind of.
Ooh, nice catch. Conversion. Oh, and a sweep ender. Interesting. Went for a mix-up, but a good delayed wake-up.
Yeah,
you very
no one was
rarely
home.
see a delayed wake-up necessary against Batman because he doesn't really mix you up. But when you see a sweep ender, that means that your opponent's really most likely going for Oki. Oh, and just so much damage again from Meteorburn Low Lightning. Ooh, a nice check. I love when Black Adams used Lightning Hands in neutral as a footsies tool.
It actually has quite a... Oh, down 2 tried to cancel into Lightning Hands. Speaking of... Oh, but the armor gets clipped by forward 1-2. Yeah, Lightning Hands has deceptive range in neutral, and it's safe. So, I mean, it's not a bad tool at all to be used. But the reason you don't see it is because forward 1 like forward 1 or forward 1-2 is just such a good tool, right? Especially if you have a trait to cancel it. Sometimes I've seen actually back 1-2 is decent because the back 1, although it's short, the knee, the 2 that comes out afterwards is super far. It comes out super far.
Right, and we see catch back dashes and jump backs.
And it can also be canceled and trait for some really good damage. So I mean, those are kind of the reasons he has good neutral tools as it is. But that's also one of them.
It is true. He's got more than he needs. So right now, DJT on match point just needs to play defensive and slowly chip away at Acid. Acid, though, he could make it back. He just needs to figure out how to get this momentum started. Oh, dashes under, and DJT has been able to just so flawlessly escape these situations with mobility. I mean,
that is pretty much all but gonna do it. All he has to do is activate trait.
And the Black Adam B&B.
Yeah, he doesn't even need to do anything here.
He could meter burn roll, but he's choosing just to walk forward. It's almost out.
He does not meter, that's why. But he does get a dive kick, and that is it. 3-1. You're so true, man.
But we are not seeing Catwoman at all. We are seeing...
No, and I respect the fact that he is trying to stick with Supergirl throughout this entire tournament.
And actually, I think Supergirl can win this zoning battle. As long as he just sits there and shoots straight lasers, he should be able to recover in time to win the trades.
Yeah, but the problem is that laser still does technically have to recharge.
That is true, but of course, every single time that you actually land one, it recharges essentially enough to shoot another laser, just because there is the knockdown time. That is the biggest advantage of her projectiles, is the fact that they knock down. And of course, they're really good on block. But right now, Flocko controlling the entire pace with that zoning.
Shot in the face. Speaking of the pace. Ooh, we're like wordsmiths. Bars. Oh man.
Ooh, that is not even a real wake up.
That's not even safe either.
No punish though, so pretty good for Flocko. Oh, sets up the target acquired. Wasn't quite able to combo into it. Sometimes the projectile can combo into it.
I love the sound that her breath makes.
I love the, against certain characters, the block stun of it. It sounds very funny because they make this. In fact, I think Cyborg is one of them. He goes,
Yeah. Oh, nothing.
Still relatively new to Supergirl, but Flocko 100% knew how to play that matchup. He really took control of it. But now Krayzie using his licorice whip Catwoman.
You would say licorice.
Oh, just barely missed it. So there we go. That's exactly one of the changes. That was a range where Krayzie had it muscle memoried in his head that was going to hit and it was going to punish the trait summon. But since it has just a little bit shorter of a vertical range downwards, it completely whiffed, and Krayzie took a good amount of damage for that.
All right, using the trait, getting some good damage. Push block coming out of Flocko as he continues to zone.
And that's actually one of the other big changes that I didn't mention. I think it was the last really big change I didn't mention was her trait is no longer a true wake up. So she has to take a really big risk every single time she wakes up. When meter burn back 3, still amazing. No doubt about it.
Yeah, her back 3 is still pretty much the same. I mean, it is the same.
Well, yeah, I mean, technically, I guess when you whiff it, it has a larger hitbox at the very end, but it's still good as for what it was. I mean, really, you should have known how to punish it by now anyway.
True, but I mean, some characters just didn't really have the best options to punish it as it was. So.
That's true, yeah. Definitely characters will have some higher damage options. Ooh, nice conversion. And very risky to use that meter burn cat dash as an anti-zoning tool just because, again, it has no more armor.
Yeah, and one thing we're actually seeing a lot now as an adaptation to the changes.
Oh right over it! No way! No way! That is the second week in a row that we've seen the Doomba go underneath somebody. I cannot believe that. Oh, what a... The Doombas have just not been working out, and yeah, we're definitely going to need a clash here, but Krayzie has such a huge meter lead. This should almost definitely be going down to chip life for Pretty Flocko. Now the real question is, how is Krayzie going to get it? Meter burn cat dash used to be the closeout tool, but it doesn't have any armor anymore. Regardless.
Oh, but a jump 2 will do it. Yeah, but one thing I was saying before we...
Less risky than you'd normally see. So I think we'll be seeing a lot for that. And of course for a combo ender, because yeah, the damage on trade is like 250 damage.
Yeah,
it's like a full
really
combo.
good, yeah.
But it looks like Flocko sticking with Cyborg. I was talking to Flocko a little bit earlier, and he was saying that he wasn't really sure if he was really comfortable sticking with just Cyborg. He was thinking that he might, to like truly compete at the highest level, need to pick someone else, at least alongside Cyborg. So I was talking about it, I said, you know what, the patch just came out, you should see how things go, and looks like right now he's still seeing how things are going.
Yeah, I mean, things are going pretty well for him, though. It is one... Oh, that could have been a huge punish. It is 1-1. He's doing quite well. But I did notice that his player card was actually riddled with Red Hood ornaments, if you will. So it is possible that he's been playing a lot of Red Hood.
But right now, you know, he's actually doing fine in this matchup. He's doing a ton of chip. Krayzie is not using the cat evade, and he could have been avoiding so much of that chip.
And that is the life bar down of which Krayzie was ahead at one point.
Yeah, entirely just from, almost entirely from chip, actually. Oh, great meter burn roll out of the corner. That was perfectly timed. And now he's already taken himself back to the other corner.
Oh, and I like the idea of trying to jump and then use the instant air fireball to kind of stay in the air and mix up his opponent, but it did not work.
Still a good attempt, and now I like the fact that he's throwing out the trade. I feel like there are actually a few situations where he could have thrown out trade a little bit more freely, but now, yeah, he's using all of his setups, and Krayzie hasn't really even touched him in quite a while.
Yeah, this is also mainly because of the new change. She can't just cat dash in anymore.
That is true. She still does have some options, and I think...
As I say that, he does it, but
yeah.
I mean...
Do it anyway, but he did it from pretty close up right there. Oh, gets opened up, and a good, very quick
Promise
clash.
Superman I'd stop you.
Have you had your shots?
I think the idea right there was that he wanted to just try and keep the momentum, keep the space. Didn't want her to, you know, take to the corner, take it to an Oki situation. Ooh, Krayzie could have flashed, but instead Flocko just jumping back, and now he wants to finish it with just projectiles, just with chip. Not lit.
Again,
use that meter.
So that
block it, and you're like, wait, what? And then it just happens. Ooh, and the classic Catwoman start, back three, doesn't even need meter. And now we're seeing some corner pressure. Oh, nice whip air to air, but what did he
wow.
just walk past him? What was that? It looked like his controller was broken. Oh, and this is going to be a big...
I also want to give a huge shout out to NetherRealm's sound design. So when it sounds as though she is actually muffled because of the mask that she has on,
yeah,
and you don't hear her voice as clearly as you normally do. That's a lot of attention to detail.
And that's actually the same for every single character that wears a mask in this game, including Cyborg.
It's just really neat.
Now, of course, it just depends on what gear you have on them. I just love the gear customizations.
And let's be honest, NetherRealm's sound design has always been one of the best.
It has.
Oh, he tried to toss the bike.
Yeah, that is a pretty slow interactable, though. Of course, the trade-off there is that it has a ton of range, and of course, unblockable.
Oh, no, we wanted it so bad.
Almost landed in it, but not quite enough. I wonder if there was anything he could have done. Maybe like canceling the standing one into the like Sonic Disruptor.
What if he did the uppercut
Fireball
into it? That would have been cool as hell.
There was probably something, but regardless, he managed to get a pretty good situation out of it. He got out of the corner, and he needs to make the life lead back, but he's got some space.
I mean, he's made a pretty decent comeback as it is.
Oh, just reversal Sonic. That's a weird choice. It's not a very fast startup move, but it is plus unblocked.
That is going to hit. It's still very possible for Flocko to stay in this.
Oh, gets hit by the overhead. Ooh, no bait on the wake up again, throwing out the uppercut.
No whiff punish, and that is going to do it. Krayzie ties it up 2-2 here against pretty Flocko. He's actually using Red Hood currently to great effect.
He is. We've definitely been seeing him switch around a lot. I'm not sure who he's going to end up sticking with, but we saw him use Red Hood a lot at EVO. All right, now Krayzie's got a pretty strong corner advantage, but this interactable is one of the best get out of jail free cards. So hard to bait, or just dashing out of the corner.
I mean, that's
I have to say, Flocko, being as he is now a zoning player, he is so good at finding those situations to escape. And I say a lot that the true test of a zoner is not how well you can keep somebody out, it's how well you can deal with it once they get in.
True. Yeah, because keeping someone out technically is the easy part, right?
Right, and you're almost never going to win entirely by keeping somebody out. So once you get in there, that's what shows the real difference between a good zoner and a great zoner.
And that's what, in my opinion, and actually, Brian is very similar in this opinion as well, Mr. Comptonius. We both really enjoy watching really good zoners because really good zoners are very impressive and, in my opinion, are fun to watch. When you see a zoner that's just incredibly good at doing it, like it's very impressive because zoning is not easy, believe it or not. To do it well at that level, excuse me.
Right, but when you see the good zoners, that's what they make it look like. They make it look like it's effortless, like there's no answer.
Like yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that really gets to you. A lot of times that really gets to you, but there is always an answer. Sometimes that answer is just meter burn back threes.
That's true.
Or cat dodges. I'm really sad that we're not seeing more cat dodges from Krayzie. It's such an important tool in the matchup. It prevents this massive amount of chip that he's taking. It builds meter for Krayzie. It builds cat scratches for when he gets in. Every single part of that is so important.
And he still could have gotten a little more damage actually off of that if he would have hit something before the drone hit. But it looks like Pretty Flocko could potentially run away with this.
Oh no, gets opened up a second time. This is going to be huge damage. He can
There
no longer
is no clash on his side.
So one more mix-up, and Krayzie using maximum meter, but that means he's not going to have meter for his next option. Oh no, he jumped off the alligator. That might have been a mistake. Now he has to get in. He dodges the undodgeable option.
It's not over yet. Still no bar on his side. So close. Oh, what a dodge.
Oh,
and that is it!
Missed it! Unfortunately misses that.
Sorry.
That of course can be remedied if you can duck, or sorry, not duck, if you jump a downwards projectile and dive kick over it. But Cyborg now of course has that downward projectile. It's not something he had in one. Now he's also got the straight projectile, which can counter that. So there's this giant zoning mind game where both characters can really punish each other for a lot of damage.
And the other issue is now, even with a black magic trade, it is no longer technically in the favor of Black Adam anymore.
That's true. Wow, what an interesting setup. Going for that very slow low, and it was a good block by DJT, but overall, Flocko got a lot of damage, got some chip, got out of the situation, and got voodoo. And now he's, wow, nice. Wastes a little bit of DJT's meter at the end of that, too. Flocko just playing such solid keep away today. Oh, and again, you know, this is the one thing that I feel like is a little bit newer for him, that at least that I haven't seen from him quite as much, is how well now he's getting out of the corner. I love that option of meter burn roll into the armored grapple away. That in particular is just an exchange that we never really see. It's like a sequence that not a lot of Cyborg players use, because we have seen a lot of Cyborg players recently. We've seen a lot of the OG guys specifically picking it against Atrocitus. We've seen just quite a few Cyborgs, a lot more than we used to.
Yeah, and look at all of I love the use of the tools and the way that he employs them from what Cyborg has. I think Flocko is doing an absolutely great job.
Oh, and again, the grapple away. Nice meter burn roll, but covers in time. Now Flocko, I mean, I want to say this could be a tough comeback, but it could definitely happen. No, or not, if it lands on a projectile.
So, I wonder...
Begin.
Oh wow, they both dashed right at each other.
Yeah, that was very raw.
It was. It's a good way to put it. Nice. Uses the trait to just get out of there, and then uses the grapple to get out of there.
He's using that grapple, and he has used it very well, usually to eat the first hit or something with the armor it has and getting out.
Now, let's talk about the grapple a little bit. The grapple is a very unique move. First of all, the input is down, and then up forward or up back.
Yeah.
And the other really, truly unique thing about it, which is what it's most useful for, is that it has armor.
It is the only special move in the game that has armor without burning bar.
Absolutely, yeah. And that there was a little bit more of that in Injustice 1, but now in Injustice 2, it's the only one.
Hard knockdown. I like it. Trade still comes, though. And he should be... Oh, no. That's what you were talking about, the dive kick.
Exactly. And even though that wasn't exactly a punish, DJT knew that he could do it late because all he needed was the chip.
Oh, and nice read.
Straight through the uprights.
So now it's
What did he say? Straight through the uprights?
Yeah, I actually don't know what that means. I'm not going to lie. Pretend I do. But he's got a really good interactable, and that's what he's jumping back for, is to try and bait DJT to bait that, I think. He can actually use it with meter to really get a good get-out-of-jail-free card, but instead, DJT is the one who's going to use it.
Yeah, and actually, if he would have done the right wake up there is a chance that that would have had enough invincibility to dodge the interactable.
It's possible, but, you know, he managed to land another one of the uppercuts.
Oh, this is like old-school Cyborg play here with the instant airs. All those... We haven't seen that in a long while.
That's true, and now it's getting down to pretty low health for both players. Flocko taking so much damage, just raw projectiles. This is almost guaranteed chip.
Plus.
Oh, yeah, he was going for plus frames into guaranteed chip, but now he's in a tough situation. He could get hit once and die.
Nice blocks, nice blocks.
That wasn't enough. He has to clash, and he is going to have the meter lead.
Aton, give me strength.
Aton, give me strength to not get hit by a single projectile. I don't think Aton's the one you need. You need,
And there it is. Wow, 2-0 now over DJT. Denzel tweeted me, and he said straight through the uprights means the field goal pole in football because that is actually, Cyborg was a football player before he became Cyborg.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Thank you very much, Toxin. Toxin also, I believe, plays football.
I should have assumed that, but now you know. All right, so
it's actually sad because I used to also play football in high school and I didn't even think about it.
You know, I did too, but I've still never heard that term. I don't know why.
It's because you weren't good at football.
Oh, that's me.
Wait, what position did you play?
No, we don't need to talk about football right now. Right now, we are
well,
talking.
Technically, it does actually pertain to what.
A little bit. You know,
yeah, we'll talk about it after.
Yeah, we can talk about that a little bit later because right now we're seeing the return of DJT's Green Lantern.
I know.
And we haven't seen his Green Lantern in a long time. Even throughout the rest of this Injustice 1, his history.
I forget, did Injustice 1 have the John Stewart skin as well?
It did.
It did, right. Yeah, that's what I thought.
But, I mean, DJT, of course, he was second place at EVO 2013 with Green Lantern. And just even from then on, he had a ton of great placements. Known as the most successful Green Lantern player. Him, Gross, very famous. But we haven't seen it in Injustice 2, and it's a totally different character.
He is very different.
Yeah, one of the most changed characters, even though a lot of his strings are the same, some of his specials are the same. Oh, wasn't able to float over that one. Ooh, nice air-to-air, but wasn't able to get the conversion.
Yeah,
now
what's the combo?
That is one of the changes for Green Lantern in this game, is it's a lot harder to get those trait conversions in a lot of situations. And that's really big, because that gave him a lot of really good Oki options, a lot of really good combo extenders.
Promise Superman I'd stop you.
My will's too strong.
So I guess that means John Stewart's on the Insurgency side.
I think he got bundled with Hal Jordan because of what happened in Injustice 1.
Huh.
That's weird. That is weird, though. You would think that maybe they would have, like, different dialogues.
Yeah, well, I mean, they do. They 100% know that, but I'm sure he's in the comics a little bit, but I haven't seen it. Oh, and this is going to be some Oki. What's the mix-up? Oh, wow. That was actually, I think, not a cross-up. The feet looked like they were hitting cross-up, but that was the exact spacing that he was going for.
Ooh. Using the meter there.
Actual plus frames. Oh, and then again, an ambiguous jumping, but what? What? He's just not afraid to do it, and that should be guaranteed chip. No, not quite.
Wait a second.
And one more mix-up, doesn't guess right, but no conversion. He needed that, and no punish on the whiffed wake-up.
Oh, he gets under. Is that it?
Wow.
That is it.
And he threaded that needle so many
Sneeze cannon.
It doesn't hurt you, it just makes you sneeze every time it shoots you. That would be annoying. Oh, well, nice down one to get out of that unblockable interactable.
Oh, he says no thank you on the Doomba.
Yeah, now that tool is going to be one of the most important zoning tools in this entire matchup. every single time that DJT gets meter, Green Lantern can throw that super fast
I think it's the fastest or second fastest, because I know Firestorms is also extremely quick.
Right.
But Firestorms also will go away if you hit him before. Does that happen with Green Lantern?
I don't believe so. I think it kind of materializes all at once.
Okay.
So it's it might, but if so, I haven't seen it. It's a lot rarer than Firestorms, because we do see that a lot from Firestorms.
Yeah.
But still, Flocko managing to hold on to this life lead. A lot of these hits that we've been seeing from DJT are down twos, which are of course scaled pretty heavily. But even on top of that, Green Lantern is a character whose damage is pretty low. He's not a huge hitter, even at his absolute maximum damage.
Oh! Got opened up and had to break. That 4-3 in the corner would have actually given DJT not only the damage, but also a nice setup afterwards. How very anticlimactic.
Ooh, wow, that actually whiffed. And good recovery, of course, on Cyborg's projectile, so he was able to block the low projectile in time.
I like that he stopped his advance there after he saw the trade came out from Pretty Flocko. And I gotta say, DJT is definitely looking more alive with this character. Not only has he won a game, which was incredibly close, but he's still making it work here, as Pretty Flocko has the life lead in this 4th game.
Wow, and the animation of him throwing the rolling projectile actually dodged the air projectile. It's very weird. It kind of went under his feet. Oh, look at that. Nice. Goes for the throat to get a little bit of guaranteed damage. And that's actually a lot more than a lot of situations that you see with those guaranteed throw damage. Even if he teched it, would have been good.
Again, a lot of push blocks coming out of Pretty Flocko, trying to keep DJT at bay, and he now has no more meter left.
When the throw situation might have worked right there too,
Oh,
but
and that
instead,
is it. Pretty Flocko takes it 3-1.
characters he plays, of
Well,
course.
didn't he actually go Black Adam as well in a mirror match against DJT before he won Atrocitus?
No, he went Batman and then Superman, and lost.
Oh,
both
you're
of them.
right. It was Superman. It was Superman. You're right.
Flying,
Sorry,
flying dictators.
The dark costume actually made me think it was also Adam.
Flying dictators, 8-frame advancing normals, kill you in one hit.
They're all the same.
It's the same thing.
Oh my goodness, this troll.
Yeah, this is a very tough level to deal with the interactables for, because for the gadget characters, every single interactable within this right side of the stage is usable an infinite number of times. More specifically, the scary one is the one that we see in this corner, because you can drop a bomb on it every single time that you use it, which of course is unblockable and launch it.
Did he armor back 3 to get away from that? I believe he did.
I'm not sure. Somehow he avoided it. It's kind of hard to see behind the explosion, to be 100% honest. And Flappy trying to take control of that interactable. I mean, he should be using it himself too. Wow, raw down 2, just checking. We call that the nub cakes, but it is a 6-frame. Actually,
we call that the nub cake.
The 4-2-3 on block in a down 2 is the nub cakes. But Rewind doing well.
You never had it.
And again, I've never seen him play Catwoman.
I have also never
I
seen
just
him.
think he just must be a real player of the game who plays a lot, plays all the characters. Why not?
Plus, push block coming out of Flappy.
Oh, and a knockdown. Oh, nice bait. That's going to be a full combo. That's going to really widen that life lead. Oh, the corpse hop. Very cool. Oh, and that push block is going to get all of the bats to go away, and that's big, but nice catch. It should be the kill, assuming there's no drop. I like that. He ended it with a special move again, just to build a little bit more meter. Why not?
Oh, this is looking very dismal.
He's trying to run away as fast as he can, but Rewind just punish the wall on block. It was always punishable, but it's a little bit easier to see it now. But on top of that, they did say that they changed the hitbox on some of his normals, which is a little bit ambiguous, and I don't think people have really noticed too much how those changes actually affected him. And then on top of that, his standing 3 got faster and a better hitbox. So we know that one works, but it's still not generally a normal that you see too much. And we'll see if Flappy has unlocked some of these changes.
Yeah, the thing is though, it just seems like Rewind is actually just playing with.
Ooh.
That was neat. Oh, that was super cool. No pun intended.
No, that was That was super cool. That was a really nice punish. He knew that that would knock into the ice puddle, which is why he didn't use any other way to punish, and got the full combo. Oh, and this is going to be an unfortunate waste of full trait. Wasting your trait is like wasting an entire health bar in this matchup, just because the entire game, your whole goal as Captain Cold is to try to build up that trait, because you can get huge damage combos off it. You can get 70% combos, you can get just guaranteed resets, but as soon as you lose it, there's a good chance you're never going to get the chance to build it back up again. Oh, and I think caught Rewind pushing a button.
This is a character that you very much love, by the way.
It is one of my my first loves. Ooh, nice. Gets a little bit of a load time in there, but sacrifices a lot of damage. Yeah. And at this point, I feel like the damage might be more important. Oh no, gets caught. Oh, and again. Now, that is the one tool that people have been saying is good in this matchup, against Catwoman in particular. Anybody who has to physically touch you, it's tough to get past that ice puddle. There are some options, though. In fact, we did see Rewind use one of the most important ones, which is going to cat fence and jumping over. Oh, wow.
Oh, but not, he just pushes her out of it.
But now he can use it as a defensive tool, kind of gets more space. I don't know if it'll matter, but he's got the life lead, he's got the knockdown, he could do this.
Are we gonna see Captain Cold win?
Oh, he has to stay patient though. One clip could be dead.
Sammy does have access.
No, he didn't break! No! He needed to break. Atrocitus in the entire world. And then now suddenly we're like, oh, Rewind, one of the best Catwoman players, and the best Black Adams, and the best Supermans, and the best.
You said the blessed.
He is blessed. Blessed with the talent to be able to play so many characters.
I like what you've done there.
Thank you. Wow, uses the trait for the full combo that he drops, but Jill.
Another punish here.
Oh, and uses the unblockable. This is a nice start of a comeback, but Chip is very hard to avoid against Batman. Oh, wow. All right, so Flappy, again, failing to close out the situation. Exactly what he failed to do that last time. Just needs a little bit of chip. Mashing down two, that's what it takes. You know what they say, when in doubt, mash it out. Oh, nice anti-air and a good flip, but Flappy manages to get out of the corner. That's a very big deal here. Oh, that's the nutcakes. That down two check. 6-frame check after a -1 situation that looks a lot more minus than it is. Oh, good conversion. That is a in the corner specific conversion.
Yeah, that was neat.
So far, I've held back.
If he's holding back, then just hit him with a low, Selena. That's all you need to do. He told you the answer. Just building a little bit of meter. Nice.
Wow.
Uses the tree.
That was beautiful.
That's actually an interactable that I think a large majority of the player base doesn't even know exists. There are a few of those. I was actually talking to Buff.io, the Superman player.
Why do you say his name like that?
That's his name, dude. His name is Buff.io. About it earlier, and he was saying that he's the master of interactables. And, well, that's a pretty tough claim. He did show a lot of us on stream a lot of interactables that we didn't know existed, just like that Tusk on the Gorilla City stage.
That's new, though. There's no way that was there before.
I don't know. There's some sneaky stuff, but look at this. Some sneaky things are happening as we're seeing a potential comeback, but no break. Still, I think we could have seen the kill off of that. Unclashable, one more mix-up. The slide anti-aired. Oh no, he's wasting all of his meter. No!
Whoa!
No! Flappy, Sammy, Hemi.
Played once against Krayzie in a mirror?
Maybe. I believe you. Oh, wow, the charged blast. Interesting choice, and I wonder why Flappy got hit by it. But this is the matchup that we saw earlier. We saw Krayzie play this against Flocko, and this might be one of the reasons why Flocko looked so comfortable in it. He knew exactly the spacing, exactly the ranges, when it was safe to throw projectiles or not, and it might be because he has experience playing against Flappy, Sammy, Hemi.
You love saying his name, don't you?
I do.
I do.
Oh, doesn't get the full knockdown, but still going to take some plus frames, some pressure. And now he's going to back up and get some zoning of his own, but he's really not seeming comfortable in the zoning game, which is understandable. It does seem like Flocko has quite a hold on it. All right, big corner combo. This could even it up. And he should get a pretty good setup off of it. Hard knockdown into a double jump. Interesting. Oh, no punish on the jump.
Wow, that was ballsy.
That was. That was definitely a reaction from pre-patch when back 1, 2, 3 wasn't safe. You can throw that out, and I mean, it's still actually a fine thing to throw out.
Oh, and here comes the potential. Oh no, he doesn't go for the damage, he goes for the setup instead.
Oh, nice conversion off the Doom, but finally working out for him.
Honestly, we haven't seen any clash coming out of Flappy, which, if anything, it should have came the first combo in that sequence.
Right now, at this point, it seems like there might not be a situation, as most of the damage is going to come from projectiles and chip. Oh, but that'll only happen if Flocko manages to make some space after this Oki. Nice fake cross-up setup.
Friend request denied.
I'm heartbroken.
Oh
Wow. So mean. He denied her friend request. He could do that on the go. Oh, wow. He went for the raw teleport, but didn't get the follow-up. That could have been what turned it around, but now it's going to be that much more difficult. And that was definitely not the option. A raw mid-range uppercut, even meter burn to make it a little bit safer, was not the option. The same pick. It was relatively close, but it was a really big drop at the end for him. When he didn't combo off of that teleport, that was just a big mistake. If he can stay solid, then I think he could definitely take this.
Oh, nice.
He like flew into it as it was formed.
He's like, you know what? Screw it. I'm just gonna fly right into it.
Oh, we could have actually seen that conversion that Krayzie does, but I think this should potentially be more damage. No, I think he could have done a little bit more, but
caught by the overhead. No meter to burn though for the combo. And I'm actually curious how much damage she does off that now.
I don't know exactly, but we've seen that she can land maybe like 350 to 400.
Goodness!
Woo! That's actually a lot of damage. 305 for Cyborg. Cyborg, a character.
He wasn't even done. She just died.
she just gave up. She's like, forget it. Oh, and just barely getting over the zoning. I'm surprised we're not seeing any hard teleport reads. I mean, I know it's risky, and Cyborg does have a relatively fast recovering projectile, but compared to some of the other characters in the game, it's not going to be quite as safe to teleport as it could be.
All right, taking the life bar is, of course, Flappy, but can he take another one?
Oh, nice. Sorry, just lands one jab and then blocks the mother box. Very, very smart. Now he's going to get the full conversion. This should potentially give him the life lead back. Oh, nice, especially doing an optimal like this. 374 with the back.
That was really good. Oh, man, missing the meter burn.
Did you see how far behind him that uppercut hit?
Nice.
Oh.
Well, am I fast or what?
It's nothing I can't handle.
It's nothing he can't handle. Is he going to spend 3? No, he's going to spend 2. So he's going to give 15% to Sammy, but he also is going to keep a bar for himself in case he wants to use that.
I do find it kind of ironic that she asked if she was fast after not having a fast enough teleport to punish right there.
That is true.
She's been like, well, I guess not fast enough. Oh, and this should be a big combo. Nice clash.
You're
that was
not
definitely a
the
good
hero
choice.
here.
As if.
I mean, she kind of is, Cyborg. You're kind of a mean guy. I don't know if you all played story mode. If not, you definitely should. It's definitely past that spoiler time, but he is definitely super down to just let Harley Quinn die for no reason. Really mean guy. And he
there it is.
landed.
That's what you were talking about.
Great flip out.
Oh,
no! Why? Why can't Flappy close out games? He's lid. Now the Pretty Flocko escape, but Pretty Flocko looking so solid.
No, he is looking really good. And this is a good start technically for Flappy, but I mean, we've seen it before. We've seen good starts. We've seen situations of which he should have finished that he didn't, and he's just, like you said, he's choking. There's really no other way to say it.
Yeah, and oh wow, manages to get out of the corner just, well, not in a good way actually. That was a really nice whiff punish by Flocko using the interactable, because that did kind of give him a bad positioning. The fact that he's in the corner is scary, as one of the best corner games in the game is Supergirl.
Oh, and delayed wake up. That was smart to avoid the rest of the chip there. Actually, I wonder if he could have woken up with Cyber Tackle, if it would have actually stopped And went through.
We haven't seen him try to wake up with Cyborg with
Yes,
that a
once.
single time, not
That's-
even
and the
once.
ba- and
We haven't
that's-
even seen it used.
Yeah.
The move might be removed from the game. It could be, we would have no idea. It's not. Oh, nice convert.
Spoiler alert, it's not.
Yeah. Oh, interesting setup. Goes for the instant air dash. Wow, what an ambiguous setup. I really like all the Oki options that Flappy Sammy Hammy uses.
Can't fight physics.
You can't just say Flappy, can you? You have to say his full name.
Flappy Sammy Hammy.
Okay.
You know, he says you can't fight physics, but she can fly. I'm pretty sure that does in some way fight physics.
That's actually true. I've never thought about that.
Yeah, she does like a lot of things that fight physics.
Oh, wow. Just raw interrupting there. Getting a full conversion into the setup. Oh, no. Sammy has been doing so well this round.
Oh, wow, just smashes him out of the air, and now there's a good corner game. Avoids the interactable. Sammy needs to make this happen. It could all look in his favor, but...
Too far. Is this going to be another instance where he just...
Oh, that should be a punish. Could have got the full combo.
Oh, no. Not
No,
like this.
not again. He had the kill. Like this. No! Flappy, why? Why? He should have the experience, but of course Rewind is his own player. Rewind has a very specific style that's not the same for most. I mean, look at that weird cancel, the no conversion, but he just makes very good choices. I mean,
Yeah.
his own quote about himself said, "Footsie's God." Twice, actually. He mentioned that twice. So he is the self-proclaimed Footsie's God. Of course, playing footsies with those jump whips.
Wow. Tell us that you really...
Ooh. And that was almost a nice conversion, but almost off of any anti-air down two from Catwoman, you can get a full back three conversion. Oh, and a good delayed wake up to avoid the interactable right there. Still, though, Rewind with quite the lead.
Was that a system
And of course, this is Grand Finals, so that means the Pretty Flocko is going to have to win this match, or this set of 3 out of 5, reset it, and then win another 3 out of 5.
Wow. Rolls out. I mean, there wasn't really much that he could have done after that. That was interesting.
Yeah, I agree. That was a lot of meter investment for not a lot of life save, but I guess maybe he was afraid that that would have guaranteed his final little bit of this life bar, and he's already made a lot of...
What are these? Cat cancels? I've never really seen these.
Yeah, so she does have a stance.
Yeah,
It is
she
the
can
cat
cancel
stance.
it, but it's just...
Right. She can do, of course, a lot of different options off of it. One of them used to be plus, so you would generally just see the plus on block option because that was at least as scary as canceling. But I think now that the cartwheel is no longer plus off of it, we're seeing Rewind decide to cancel it. And I would like to see him do some other options just to kind of mix it up.
Nice backdash to get away from pressure there. Oh, getting caught though.
This
And
is
an
for
early
Bruce.
clash.
Whiff and I'll punish it.
Well, I think an early clash is actually very smart.
I agree.
We've seen a lot of situations where Rewind takes somebody down to about half life and then never gives them a chance to break or to clash the entire rest of the game. Oh, and the Doomba. Oh, barely gets over it.
Promised Superman I'd stop you.
Have you had your shots?
I honestly think that the Doomba has been avoided a few too many
It
times.
has.
All right, now we need to see, this is something we haven't seen very much at the end of these games for the past few sets, but somebody closing out just about chip life, and okay,
there
we
it
are going to
is.
see it. A very risky option just because that no longer has the...
Why don't you elaborate?
So Red Hood's charge, his down forward 3, is now 1 frame slower, which is a pretty big deal just because it was used as a punisher for so many things. And then on top of that, his... I guess you could call it the meter burn grab off of his trait Rekkas. That's a
Yeah.
weird way to describe it, but it's no
That's
longer
what it is, though.
nearly as
Yeah.
plus. That is exactly what it is, yeah. But we're not going to be seeing that as we're still seeing Cyborg, and we're seeing Cyborg go down quickly. Whoa, did that jump one hit?
Yeah, it did. No, it did. That was weird.
That was very weird. And a very quick first life bar. Really not much to say about that.
I love my job.
Most days she loves her job.
I wonder what days she doesn't love her job.
Oh, and that was so smart. Gets through, but doesn't convert the combo. Now, potentially stuck in the corner. This is a really good position for Pretty Flocko if he can just keep her there.
Oh yeah, he's landing a lot of small hits, which is the kind of traditional Cyborg way of dealing damage. fully charged, but doesn't matter because meter burn back 3 is a thing.
Yeah, one thing I will say is that Rewind has done a fantastic job of making sure that he utilizes meter burn back 3 or 4-3 in a way that it would absolutely punish anything that Flocko did. And I think he's like 4 or 5 for 5 so far.
All right, nice dodges. Need to see that a lot more. Ooh, good punish on the alligator. Oh, misses the unclashable, but still
And that
manages
is
to
it.
close it out.
2-0 Rewind, dominating much more so in the second.
Begin.
But that means that it is going to be locked into Cyborg for the rest of this 3 out of 5 set, this pre-reset grand finals, as Rewind is making it look
unblockable.
easy. Oh, and now he's stuck in the corner. He's got the interactable, good usage, just creates a little bit of space with it, does a little bit of chip, no reason not to. Oh, he said, I've got
He's
armor.
like, come back here.
He's like, you no longer have armor, and now I have armor, so you're gonna have to hold that. Oh no, that could have been a punish. Wow. Surprised that down one actually didn't punish. Okay, he just threw out the uppercut neutral. He just throws that thing out. He's no fear.
No, he lets it rip.
Oh, and hard knockdown. One more mix-up. Oh wow, didn't get the full thing because I think he just didn't have enough cat scratches.
Oh, and the armor was not going to save him. He doesn't have the life to survive. You know what's weird is when Catwoman does her like meter burn forward dash, and it's supposed to look like a cat, it almost looks like a spider, and it freaks me out every time.
Well, it reminds me a lot of the alien crawl.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Nice background bounce, and he's gonna get a really dirty setup. Wow, he actually set up a little bit too slow, I think.
Your head's stuck in the cloud.
Right now, I'm hyper-local.
He's hyper local.
For the first time, I believe, in the set, we're seeing pretty Flocko with a life lead. Didn't have the meter to convert off of that. Could have got a little bit more damage, a little bit more wall carry, but he's still got a lot of space behind him.
Oh, and he actually could have had a huge whiff punish there.
Yeah, especially with the background bounce. For characters like Cyborg that don't have true launchers, having a background bounce
Is huge, yeah. That's a really good option because, like you said, his launcher, again, mid-screen doesn't really, like, lead into anything for him.
Right, I mean, it's a good knockdown, but the damage is just nothing significant. And here we're going to see him potentially lose the lead. He could have clashed it a lot earlier.
Enough of you.
I can't be tamed.
And no life lead, so this is going to be a punish, but a nice trade. The Mother Box is always reliable. The Doomba, not quite so much.
That's true.
Oh, and that
Is that?
might be it.
Wait a second.
No, this is actually a really low damage transition.
Yeah,
Forgot.
it's not that bad. Oh, just barely, and that is it. Rewind takes it. And once again proves that he is one of the strongest players, not only in this region, but just in the country.
Yeah, what a strong showing from him today. I mean, we saw pretty Flocko taking